What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Divided Nations. So what do we got here? Well, we got the data that's been coming through again and again and again and consistent, and still it's been ignored by most of the mainstream media. So it seems that as far as children under the age of 19, you look at a state like California, they only had 2 recorded deaths. You check, as far as tracking deaths, it's not really that hard to track. You have a couple different situations here. Number one, the American Journal Medical Association, back in April, they had reported that usually when people under 19 contract the C virus, they typically have mild symptoms and usually recover within a couple of weeks. Okay, all right. When you track the total amount of deaths, it's only 123 individuals under the age of 19 that have died from CoV2. So why are they keeping the kids out of school when kids are the least likely to spread transmission? This has been proven over and over again. You have many, many doctors that have been speaking out and saying that, look, let the kids go back to school. This is doing more irreparable harm to their mental state of mind, not having that contact, that face-to-face contact with people. As far as, the mental health, there's a lot of implications. And I fear that it seems that the brainwashing is kind of doing more harm than anything. We look at the virus and we say, what happened to the economy? Well, did the virus do that? Or did Big Brother do that? Well, now you kind of have a typical situation where you can see that everything that's happening right now is an example of how that kind of wildfire just kind of spreads when you have a lot of talking heads that pretend to be doctors and scientists and pretend that they know what they're talking about. What's really, really messed up is the fact that all this has been happening, and you've got a total of 350 million Americans approximately in the United States, and only allegedly 123 have died of CoV2. Okay, so that's on record. That's an example of a situation where right now what's happening is they're still kind of lollygagging and saying, well, we need to protect our teachers and we need to slow the spread and yada, yada, yada. But see, the fact remains is that, children are not really the main threat or carriers. They don't seem to be affected by this at all. And the recovery rate for most seem to be 99%. So apparently we have a virus that's so dangerous you need to be tested for it to know that you have it. And then for those that do get it, 99% of the population are recovering. So what's really going on here? I mean, it seems like there's still a push to justify why people need to be kept out of work and why children need to be kept out of school. But at the end of the day, the numbers are in that show that this is not a threat to children. Like I said, the American Journal Medical Association, they reported, most have mild symptoms and they recover within 2 weeks. So it's not a threat to children. I think if anything, the kind of aftermath and the side effects of everything that's happened. Yeah, there you go. even nature's chiming in. Even she agrees. Do you agree? Should we let the kids go back to school? I think that we should too, right? It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it's talking to the powers that be, trying to get them to realize these simple facts is probably about as effective as me talking to this duck. This duck probably understands more about logic than the powers that be do. I just feel really bad for the kids, man, because a lot of them from adolescence up to young teens. They don't really understand. Maybe older teens, maybe they understand to an extent, you know what I mean? But it's really, really just messed up how this just is continuing to be dragged out, and it's just affecting everyone in society right now in some way or another. It's bad enough that, over 40 million people in the United States have lost their jobs. Think about worldwide, how many people have lost their jobs. Now you got another wave of lockdowns coming. Oh man, it's crazy. So if you agree with me that we need to let the kids go back to school and get back in the routine, go ahead and smash that like button.